So I'm tasked with wrapping this thing up. So, and you know, I was just remembering after listening to these guys at the very end about adult learning theory. Adults, it's harder to teach adults. They have to be challenged, and they have to realize that something in their thinking wasn't what they thought it was. And so I started out yesterday with hoping that you would have aha moments, and that's part of it. If you had an aha moment, hopefully that kind of sparked that learning process in your adult brain. So PrairieFood really wants to do this again. We plan to we're going to start in the Great Plains and do more soil health workshops, teaching people about regenerative ag, how PrairieFood can help in that mission. So I want to hear from you what were some of the most valuable parts of this 2-day experience. Can I hear from you? What's your favorite parts? What did you get the most out of? The ability to ask questions. Good. Yeah, the conversation style. What else? Sorry. Practical applications. What else? Well, what could we do differently? What would you like more of, or what would you like different? Tell me more. Okay. So did you have a comment?
Like I said, I traveled from so far away that really it's probably not pertinent to the conversation. But of all these seminars and things I attend a lot, I speak at a few, and it's always, not always, the majority of this is a corn soybean production model. I would love to hear other crops, how people integrating the soil health principles and cereal grains, vegetable, potato production, things like that, something besides corn and soybean.
Okay, so something besides corn and soybean production systems, additional crops. That's good feedback as well. So our plan is to, expand PrairieFood. We hope to do that first in Kansas, expanding through the Great Plains. So ahead of that, we hope to, kind of spread the word with these workshops. So please connect with us. I'm going to put up some contact information here in just a second about that. We have amazing partners that we've partnered with, and hopefully you've had a chance to walk around the room and connect with some of the people that we work with. Heartland does a lot of our soil sampling. Regen Ag Lab does all of our soil analysis. Liz Haney, Soil Regen, Russell, they're going to be helping us produce those soil health workshops. So please find a way to connect with us if you have something to offer and you'd like to partner with PrairieFood. We really want to help push this mission forward, this change, this transformation in agriculture. So I want to tell you a little bit more about what PrairieFood offers besides just a product. So how do we get this to go? I have my slide up. There we go. So something that comes along with a PrairieFood purchase is called Green Glove Service. And with that service, you get access to our carbon and soil health team. So these guys have been working for as long as they've been with the company on educating themselves about soil health. And so we like to talk with farmers and work with them on their farm to come up with a field plan where they're applying PrairieFood. And that consultation continues throughout the growing season. So we're there for you. We like to come and visit your field and monitor how things are going. Once things might reach a point at which we may not be able to answer your questions, we have people to help us with that, like Soil Regen, okay? So we've partnered with other groups to help support our growers. So during the growing season, if you get PrairieFood down, we'll come visit the field, like I said. We might take some tissue samples and try to help monitor things, so that's part of that service. And then at the end of the season, we want to provide a report of how things went. And so, and we will call you and talk to you about that as well. Notice too, at the top of the list there is that Haney soil health test. So Lance Gunderson described the value of that today. We would come out to your farm at the beginning of the season, before the growing season, hopefully a couple weeks before planting, do that test, and then we would help you interpret that so that you can make some informed decisions about, for example, your nutrient plan and how that PrairieFood can impact that. And so we want to walk hand in hand with you on that decision-making process. Any questions about Green Glove service? Well, I mean, we have PrairieFood down in Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas, and so far that's where we go. Eastern Idaho, wow. So we would have to talk about that. Yeah. Generally speaking, what we feel like we want to offer is that we will figure it out with you. So we're at the point now where we know it works, and we want to work with you, and we want people to start using it and to spread the word. It's that pebble in the pond. If you're that first guy in Eastern Idaho to get it down and get it done, then it's only going to expand from there. So here's our carbon and soil health team contact information. If you want to take a snapshot of that, I put my contact information on there as well. These guys, so Chan and Mike are both UNL trained agronomists that had to go through this transformation, this sort of re-education in their thinking about the soil. And so they've been on that journey. They're coming out of a conventional ag model, and they get it. And so they can really, they can come to you where you're at, if that makes sense, and help you along that way. John, who's standing at the back of the room, has been with PrairieFood. He's been one of the longest term people with PrairieFood, and he knows a lot about the product. He's been in charge of production for a long time, and he's worked with it on his family farm. So he has a lot of knowledge about it as well. So I want to invite you to come along on this journey, whether it's with PrairieFood or taking that first step into regenerative ag practice. You have a lot of support here. We're willing to work with you. You have this network of people in this room that want to help. So come along with us on this journey, and let's get this done. Thank you, everybody. I want to invite you to stick around if you have more questions. We're going to gather at the front of the room, kind of up in this area, to have additional Q&A. If you have specific questions for us or any of our speakers, we'll be gathering up here and as we wrap things up. So burning questions, come on up.